Well, howdy, folks. My name's EB, and the premise of what I want to do is to try and teach some of the younger people in our country the importance of knowing where we came from, how our forefathers lived, how your great grandfather lived. They didn't have all the modern conveniences that we have today. They couldn't just go to the store and buy a steak. They couldn't go to the store and buy a six-pack of beer or any cigarettes. They didn't have so many of the things that we take for granted. So what we're trying to do with these videos, it will be an ongoing thing, is to teach you a little bit about the heritage that we've come through in the past 120 years. That's really not that long a time. When you think that some of your grandparents may be 80, 90 years old and had to live with the things that we try to teach you here. Flint and steel. They didn't have matches until 1830s, right in there. They were called lucifers. If they wanted to start a fire, they had to start it with flint and steel. How would they carry a fire? How would they stay warm without a fire? So they had to start it with flint and steel or other methods. There's many other methods of fire starting. But so many of the things that we take for granted are right here in front of us. All we have to do is take a little time, a little interest, and a lot of practice. And it's fun. It can be a lot of fun. There are a lot of reenactors in the mountain man clubs that reenact the things that our forefathers did in the 1830s, the 1820s, the fur trade era. It was a fantastic era where men were free. They didn't say yes sir to no one. This is kind of what we're trying to impart with you that are watching these videos. Like I said, some of you aren't going to be interested in it. Some of you are going to be very interested in it. Some of you have done it. I've been doing this about 30 years now. I try to hone my skills as well as I can. I'm always learning something every time I go out. I had a brainstorm this morning, and yeah, it hurt. I thought, why not make char cloth out of horse manure? There's horses everywhere. So I thought about it. I thought, okay, I made up some horse manure char cloth. Char. All it is charcoal. I need a bigger striker to get a hotter spark. But it worked. It works. It's ingenuity. Ingenuity and creativeness. On your part, on my part, on everybody's part. Just imagine if tomorrow there were no stores. There was no electricity. There was no fuel for your car. What would we do? Many of us would die. Many of us would die. Those that have never been exposed to the old ways. The old ways are often the better ways. What did we do before cell phones? How did we communicate? If you had a neighbor 2 miles down the road, you had to hop on your horse and go over and talk to him. But today, we depend too much on other things and other people. We need to be a little more self-sufficient in the knowledge that we can glean from our elders. I'm not an elder. Don't get me wrong. I've been called old man. I don't like it. Last guy that called me old man would have been 35 today. But he's not. So if you'll bear with me throughout these videos, share them with your friends. Practice what you see on the videos. Everybody has a better way to make a better mousetrap. That's why we have become such a technological society today. The Bic lighter, the Zippo lighter, all based on flint and steel. For the older fellas out there, you remember the Zippo lighters. You had to change the flint. You had to fill them with fluid. They leaked in your pocket and you got a blister all over you. But it was flint and steel. It was flint and steel. So learn the old ways. You may never use them, but learn how to use them. Enjoy them. Embrace them. Because someday they just might save your life or the life of a loved one. Now, normally I'd have a pretty little girl sitting here talking to you, but this is what you get. So, I hope you enjoy these videos. If you do, share them and let me know. Thanks.